Hi, Gemini. So this is your mid-October reading. And if I remember correctly, beginning of October, it looked like you had a court case that had gotten settled. So I want to see how you're doing, if that has moved things along in your world. What's the deal with that? So I generally will pull 4 or 5 tarot cards, let it give me the energy for what the overall view is, and then do clarifier cards if I look at it and decide it's career-oriented, love-oriented, whatever. Goodness gracious, my cards are getting out of control. Ace of Wands. All right, that's new beginnings. That makes sense. We had an ending earlier, so we should be starting some new beginnings. Gemini, second half of October energy. What have you got going for Geminis? Sorry about that. I'm falling apart. Okay. Okay, so I'm already getting some stuff there. Okay. All right. Up, 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 up. All right. I need a drink. I feel like I'm living in the desert already. All right. So the Sun card came in reverse. The High Priestess came in reverse. Ace of Wands, the Moon card, and the Knight of Cups. So we have 3 major arcana that came up in this. And you normally want the Sun card in the upright position, but it came in the reverse position. So I'm thinking that the feeling I'm getting is you thought the end of this court case or the settlement that was going to happen was going to be the end all to be all, and everything was going to be all hunky-dory after that. And you found out differently. So something may have gotten ended, but the High Priestess is kind of full of secrets. She also came up in the reverse position. So I'm trying to think here. So it feels like some secrets got revealed during this whole process, and it almost made things worse instead of better. You didn't know some things got revealed, and now you can't get your mind off of them. That's why the Sun is in reverse instead of in the upright position. So now you're all caught up in your head and not able to move forward. Now, you've got the Ace of Wands, which is new beginnings, but it came next to the Moon card, which is a bunch of illusions. And so I feel like you were ready to take things to the next level, but you got sidelined or waylaid by this information that you found out. Okay, so let me think about this here. And then the Knight of Cups. So it's like something came to completion. You found out some secrets. You thought everything was going to be all hunky-dory, and I feel like you were like waiting on all of these positive emotions to come, and they didn't. And you're kind of sitting here kind of like, dang, man, I'm not in any better situation than I was before. And, I've been waiting for months and months and months for this court case to get finished and settled so I can move on. And you're trapped up in your own head right now. And that's why you haven't moved on, is because you're stopping yourself from living a better life. That's just kind of the energy that I'm feeling. You ought to be moving forward, and you ought to be more excited of what happened, but you're not, which is too bad. I'm going to do some clarifying cards here. the sun, let's see. So with the sun, give me a clarifying card for the sun in reverse. Well, someone's being stubborn, and that kind of makes sense with your attitude right now. Feels like you're being very stubborn. It's kind of like you just feel like you're kind of pissy. Which reminds me, Venus went into retrograde on October 6th, and one of the astrologers that I watch all the time said that basically half the universe is going to be on their menstrual cycle, in quote, and grouchy because Venus rules women. So if you are a woman, that could be kind of why you're cranky. It's like with Venus in retrograde, you're just like, nothing's going to make me happy. You know, even a box of chocolates right now isn't going to make me happy. And this court case getting settled didn't make me happy. And the fact that I found out some stuff that I really didn't want to know didn't make me happy. And, you know, it's like nothing's making you happy. And it is, you know, it's kind of like, so you're just cranky right now. It'll get better. I promise it'll get better. I need some clarifiers. Okay. So the Four of Pentacles came up on the Sun card. And when I look at the Four of Pentacles, I look at that and I'm like, he is hanging on to his money for dear life. So I think that kind of goes along with this. So maybe you were supposed to get, you got a settlement or something. You were expecting more. You didn't get as much as you want. And so now you're pissy because you didn't get as much as you wanted to. And you're like, I'm hanging on to this money because you're not in the flow of that. You're not in the trusting of the universe that more is coming down the road. Let's see if we can get an idea of what kind of secrets came out that set you off. I feel like it has to do with like you found out, maybe this was a divorce case and it was the settlement case for you were getting half the money or whatever from your ex-spouse or something. And in the meantime, you found out through the proceedings that he'd been cheating with his secretary the whole time or something like that. And you didn't know that before. And that came out in the whole court case or whatever. Or, maybe he's hiding money someplace and you found that out and you have no way of getting to it. And that's honking you off. Oh, that's way too many cards. Because it feels like it has something to do with a relationship and something negative that you found out that you didn't know. And in this point, you kind of wish you didn't. You know what? The Ace of Pentacles did come up on that High Priestess. And what did I just say? I said it was like, because this would be having to do with money and an abundance of money. And that's kind of what it feels like, is like it feels like you found out in the process that there was more money hiding out there and you didn't get your portion of it. And that is really bugging the crap out of you. And you're feeling very ungrateful at the moment because I know a friend of mine that had that happen to her. She said she knows in her heart that her husband, when they got divorced, she did get money when they got divorced, but she says, I know he's got money hiding someplace. And I feel like that's kind of what happened, is like in the process, some things kind of got revealed, but you don't have any way of proving where the money is at. It's, hidden someplace. And that part of that should have been yours. That's the feeling I'm getting from that. So, I don't know that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I want to do clarifying cards for the moon. I don't think so. It was just those two that I wanted to get clarifying cards for. Let's do some emotions, although I feel like this whole thing is about emotions that you're you're having. So we'll see if these come up the same. And any recommendations of how to get over that. I mean, I feel like there's some forgiveness that needs to happen, and you're holding on to a grudge right now, and it's making you miserable, and there isn't a darn thing that you can do about it. So you kind of need to let go of the whole thing so you can move on and live a happy life, because otherwise you're just going to kind of sit there and rot, is the feeling I'm getting, and you're not doing yourself any good being mad about something that you are out of control. I also feel like this has some sort of karma attached to it. It's like you were getting paid back for something you did in a past life, and that's why it didn't work out in your favor. So while you're mad as a hornet right now because of what happened, basically you did the same thing in a past life, and you just got your payback. I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of what it feels like, is you just got paid back and karma got served. The only good thing about that is it means that cycle is over. So what other emotions are going along with this? Whole situation. Let's take that one. All right, the first one that came up was proud in the reverse position. This I feel like is, because it came in the reverse position, I feel like you did something or said something, or one of the reactions that you had during this whole process you are not proud of. You went below the belt is a feeling that I'm getting. And you're not happy about how you handled things. And that's why the proud is coming up in the reverse position. And now you're feeling very lonely, isolated, alienated, and friendless. So you kind of made an ass out of yourself, perhaps, and showed what kind of a person you are. For a brief moment, you know, everybody gets to that point and gets to a breaking point. Wayne Dyer always said, you know, when you squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice or something else? Well, you got squeezed, and what came out of you was not good. It wasn't love. It was hate and anger and whatever else emotions that came out along with that when you found out that secret. Now, this to me feels like it says free, liberated, independent, and unburdened. So you have that feeling once there's closure from the court case or whatever it was that you were waiting to have happen. But the disgusted card came up. So revolted, nauseated, and repelled. So you're happy and feeling good and peaceful and free about some stuff, but then there's mixed emotions. I feel like the negative ones have to do with the way you acted about the whole thing and finding out the secrets and stuff, but you're happy to be done with the situation and like, kind of like you can take a breath now, because now you can disengage from all of that negativity that had been there for a long time. So that kind of makes sense. Is yes, there is a good part to that coming to fruition and being done and over, but in the process you kind of went dirty and maybe made yourself look a little bad, and that's kind of where some of these negative emotions are coming from, is you wish you didn't have such negative feelings about this whole thing. Let's do some, these are healing, whispers of healing. Let's see if your guides or your oversoul, your higher self, any of your past relatives have anything, anything whatsoever to say. Funny thing is, I just realized my lamp hasn't gone off. I did the Aries video right before I did your video, and my light that I have behind the camera kept going on and off and on and off the whole time I did the Aries, and it hasn't done that since. So that tells me that I need to go back and rewatch that Aries video and pay special attention to it, because it does have some meaning to me. Very, very much meaning. And so apparently that reading was made for me, for the person that is in my life that's an Aries. Interesting. And my birthday's in 2 days, so it could have been my mom going, hey, I'm letting you know, I'm around, this is what's going on, and it was my sign from heaven. Forward movement. So that was the first card that came out on the Whispers of Healing for you, Geminis. I don't remember who I was doing again. Second card says grateful. I feel like that is just a message. Be grateful that it's done. It's over. Be grateful that you got something. And yes, you could have always gotten more, but you could have gotten less. And you need to remember that. What if that person had hidden all of it away and you got 5,000 instead of 100,000, or whatever amount that you got? I feel like this is a lesson of being grateful for your blessings, and you're at the moment more focused on your lack than you are your blessings. And that's just, you know, you're just gonna be rolling in sorrow if you keep doing that and don't let go. One more. These cards are so big, they're really hard to shuffle. There we go. Hydrate. Okay. Hydrate. And the other one says sincere relationships. So if you said anything, remember I said I felt like you said some stuff and you maybe got dirty and hit below the belt? I feel like that card is saying that you should make a sincere apology to that person for what you said. Don't burn bridges. You could be sorry you did that someday. That's the feeling I'm getting, is don't burn bridges. Yes, you were mad. Yes, you said some stuff that you shouldn't have said, but you should make a sincere apology for whatever you did. And one, I think that'll make you feel better. I think that'll make you feel a lot better about moving forward, about the situation. Shake it off. Don't let this thing that happened taint you and ruin you and make you bitter. Because a lot of people can do that. And get rid of those negative emotions that you're holding on to right now and just move on. I mean, that's all I can say is move on. So I will see everybody in November. I'm getting ready to take a trip, and hopefully I'll have some fun stories to talk about when I get back. So everybody have a great rest of the month. Thanks.